Hello audience, it is I, Ren, here yet again with a Genshin Impact video. Today we are going to be continuing the second part of the Enchanted Tales of the Mikawa Festival. And I'm also going to do a standard temple, because I saved up enough for a standard temple. Let's go. Oh, if only it was gold. If only it was a character, not a weapon. If only, if only, if only. So, we gotta wait until 7 a.m. Waking up in the morning, gotta get dressed, gotta go downstairs.
Man, what happened last night? We couldn't find anyone to discuss it with because it was so late. Well, Miku and the others should be at the grounds by now, right? Let's go talk to them.
Nobody's here. Nobody's here. That's, oh, common. Like Common Rider? Everyone's missing. They've all been kidnapped.
Huh. Doesn't look like Miku is around here anywhere. Paimon doesn't see Ayato or Ayaka either. Are we too early? Didn't Ayato say he prepared lodging for everyone at the shrine?
Did you hear? Someone encountered a doppelganger here last night.
A doppelganger? You mean, like a doppelganger of themselves? Or someone they know?
You know what they say. Anyone who sees their doppelganger will be replaced by them within 3 days.
That's just a folktale. It's not real.
Doppelgangers? That's a common folk tale in Inazuma, isn't it? Ever heard of it, Traveler?
I know the gist.
Yeah, it's a pretty famous one, huh? A friend being replaced by a complete stranger? Also, the timing is a bit too coincidental, don't you think? Could it be related to what we saw last night? The whole doppelganger thing sounds kind of like what Sayu was talking about with Bunshin Phantasm. Maybe something went wrong with Kichiboshi's powers?
I guess that's a possibility, but I doubt it.
Well, thinking about it isn't going to get us anywhere. Why don't we go check on Sayu's team?
But nobody's here.
Huh? They're not here yet.
Maybe they're still asleep? Or they've all been kidnapped.
Well, if it is Sayu we're talking about, it's definitely possible. Oh, someone's coming. Weird. Is he here to work on the equipment? But he doesn't look like any of the workers we saw yesterday. And it doesn't seem like he's here for the games. He snuck away again. Do you think he might be...
Let's follow him and see what he does.
He's constantly looking back. Paimon's calling it now. Something fishy is going on.
Don't jump to conclusions. Let's keep watching.
Good point. He could be on his way to meet someone. Let the hunter become the hunted.
Reporting back, ma'am. Nothing suspicious to note at the Bunshin Phantasm booth. It's possible there's no connection to the incident from last night.
Isn't that just Sarah?
Sarah?
Yep. Ah, Hazo!
Hazo! What's going on here?
I guess that makes us the hunted.
Forgive me, ma'am. I have failed as a detective. I did not realize someone was on my tail.
So, what's going on? What are you investigating? It must be serious if Hazo's involved. Huh? What orders? You really can't tell us anything?
Those orders come from the Shogun, don't they?
An astute observation, traveler. Tell her the truth.
Seriously, we don't need a question mark, question mark, question mark. At this point, we know who you are.
What? The Shogun is here?
No, I believe this is A.
You recognized me with a single glance?
We could hear it in your tone.
It matters not. I am certain the person standing before us is our friend, the traveler. Her gaze, her presence, her mastery of several types of elemental energy. There is no mistake. And we need her help.
No, please! Stay away!
What?
Should we call off the festival?
You're right. That's a big risk.
The purpose of this festival is to bring humans and yokai together. We cannot allow the culprit to endanger anyone.
But what if they attack again?
Fortunately, no one else has been harmed.
Thank you.
Ah, so the thunder we heard was you!
On the contrary, it was my decision. I was unable to capture the culprit last night, so I left to discuss a plan with Miko. I did not show myself once I saw you were safe, and for that, I apologize.
Speaking of Miko, where is she?
She is investigating the trace of yokai power found at the scene. Though it fades in and out, it never strays from Mount Yogo. Miko is working with the Kamisato siblings to verify the identities of the staff members. They should be done soon. As for the contestants, that inquiry must be performed by someone else.
Is that why you need my help?
The Tenryo Commission is too conspicuous. But as the judge of the competition, you can ask questions without arousing suspicion.
Okay, so you need us to talk to the teams and see if there's an imposter among us?
We're playing Among Us. This is the new Among Us.
Precisely. Traveler, I understand these people are your friends, and it puts you in a difficult position. But if one of them has indeed been displaced by a yokai, they could be in grave danger.
I understand. I'll do my best. Who do I think it is off the top of my head? I don't know. I guess I'll talk to everyone and then make a guess.
Thank you. I truly hope the situation is not as grave as it seems.
Same, dude.
What are you guys gonna do next? Continue to investigate from a distance?
Worry not. Miko and I discussed that issue. She claims to have a plan. The preparations are underway as we speak.
One of her genius plans, huh?
Somehow scheme seems more accurate.
Indeed. If you learn any details of said plan, I would like to know what I'm getting myself into.
Valid and fair.
Okay, so where do we start? We need to ask questions to figure out if there's an imposter, but we can't arouse suspicion. Oh, looks like Sayu's team is already here. Well, guess we'll just play it by ear.
Let's talk to these three too.
So tired. I don't feel rested at all. How come you two have so much energy? Didn't you stay up even later than me? We... Oh, it's okay. I can push through. Sayu and Yoimiya seem the same as ever. Kichibushi, too. How should we test them?
Let's talk about the past.
Oh, good idea! Doppelgangers only mimic appearances. They wouldn't know about someone's past. Let's give it a try. White fur, yellow fur! Yeah, well, the Traveler's judging this thing, so we can't slack off, right? Yeah, if the people in charge are here early, that usually means there's been some kind of emergency. Oh, no, it's just... the Traveler really wanted to see you!
Seriously, Paimon?
Well, it's... your game! Playing your game yesterday? Brought up a whole bunch of old memories. So we wanted to come early to reminisce about old times. You know, because you might be busy later and... stuff.
Okay, Paimon. Good attempt. What kind of excuse is that? They're busy now.
White fur acting super strange.
Time to change the topic. But, okay, did Sayu have anything to do with the Aranara? I don't think so. But I think Yoimiya was, so...
Marinara? Yum!
You know what? I agree.
Good banana?
Nara sounds so different from Banana.
Sumeru, huh? The dreams there are supposed to be special. Did you witness a dream or something? Maybe it could give us some inspiration, and we wouldn't have to think so much.
Sometimes when there are too many feelings in a dream, it's really hard to use as reference material.
Alright. I was just wondering what kind of dream it was, that's all.
Sounds good.
Oh, we should get out of your fur... hair, then. Good luck, everyone! White Fur. Bye, Yellow Fur. Come back and play.
Will do.
Wow, we've had so many adventures, huh? You don't even realize it until someone brings up the past.
Do you still remember the original meaning of our journey?
Oh yeah, totally. It was, what was it again?
I figured.
Anyway, Paimon didn't pick up on anything suspicious from that team. If anything, we were the weird ones forcing conversations and stuff.
Hey, wait, what if Paimon is actually the suspicious one? What if Paimon is the doppelganger? Because the original point of my journey was to find and reunite with my brother, and you'd think that Paimon would remember that. Anyways, and whose fault is that?
Okay, so maybe it wasn't the best strategy. Leaning into the judge angle is probably a safer bet. Let's ask about the creative process behind the game and confirm their identities that way. Paimon saw Toma's team show up just now, so we can investigate them next. Hey Toma, we were hoping to learn a bit more about the philosophy behind your game. Is now a good time? Feel a soft bee?
Oh, Boss can explain that one.
Boss and Shosei were up super late last night coming up with ideas.
And he's back at it this morning, as energetic as ever. Boss is the best!
Time for an interview.
The glasses come back on.
Into you?
I think Paimon is not suspicious anymore. Did you design this game with anyone in mind?
Not so fast. Everyone isn't an answer. You need to be more specific about your target audience. Makes sense. Kids need a little exercise here and there. Right. Adults have more stamina, so they can get more out of the game. Older adults. Exercise is important for healthy aging, but something feels off about this.
Huh?
Okay. Wait. That includes everyone! But not for Ioroi. Next question! Whoa, not a single stumper.
Never underestimate a housekeeper. It would be my pleasure.
Yes, Boss Toma!
Well, Toma's answers were all very genuine. Paimon didn't notice anything un-Toma-like about them. Plus, he was with Shosei until late last night. If you think about when we saw the nightmare creature, the timing doesn't match up.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Kozo and his two friends were together the whole time, too. They would have noticed if someone was acting weird.
That's true.
So, we're back at square one. That just leaves Kokomi's team, right? Guess we should check them out.
Huh? White fur and yellow fur are here early!
You're here alone? Huh. Where are Kokomi and the others?
Don't know about Great Yokai, but Soul Lady is behind you.
Soul Lady? Oh, as in Soul of the Deep. Okay. Wait, did you say behind us? Kokomi! A little warning next time!
Sounds like you already know why we're here. She is a master strategist.
Energy? Oh! The numbers you write in your diary!
In a tree? Dry berry?
Oh, sorry.
Yep, all good.
Kyobo Koban is a criminal?
You never could be.
No, of course not! You're in the clear.
In the clear. Is good?
Very good.
Good.
What about Mizuki? Where did she go?
Miko.
Something tells me a certain someone is missing me.
Huh? Miko and Mizuki!
Hello, traveler. Paimon.
Did you finish up your work?
Yes, I left the rest to the young fellow from the Kamisato clan. At least for now, there's nothing suspicious to note.
That means the culprit didn't manage to sneak in. That's a relief.
Just like that, you let down your guard? And all it took was for me to wear her face.
The culprit? It's you!
She's pranking us, Paimon. If you keep joking like this, I want 30% of the profit.
Oh? Greedy little thing. I thought we agreed on 20.
Making a joke like that, you're the only one in Inazuma who would do that.
Oh, it's getting harder and harder to tease you, traveler.
Oh, can you stop with the teasing then? Even I'm reaching my limit.
500 years and you're still not used to it? Sounds like you need more practice.
At least spare me for the day. I can't take the mental torment right now. I'm running on fumes.
So, what did you do last night?
Investigated the Shogunate officials' nightmares, analyzed the traces of yokai power around Mount Yogo. Oh, and worked on some new game stages, of course.
All in one night?
Well, I didn't want someone to ruin the Mikawa Flower Festival. But I also wanted to do my best for my part of the festival. Besides, I've talked to many patients who worked multiple jobs just to make ends meet. Compared to that, complaining about one night of hard work is a little unreasonable, don't you think? You're very persuasive, Kokomi. It would seem you also have a talent for clinical psychology. I'll leave it to you two then.
Sweet dreams.
Mizuki really cares about the festival, huh? She's putting so much pressure on herself.
Perhaps she's reminded of the festivals of the past when I was just a kid, and Mizuki a young Baku. We would rush past the other yokai, desperate to get the first piece of fried tofu from the ramen stand. It would seem she hasn't forgotten, even after 500 years.
Sounds like you haven't forgotten either.
You know, there's something to be said for knowing when to keep your mouth shut, little one. Well, enough about the past. We must focus on the matter at hand.
But you didn't notice anything suspicious, right? That should mean the culprit didn't sneak in.
That's one possibility. The other is that the culprit's transformation is even more convincing than we imagined. In that case, we need a detective with a more professional skill set. Or we need to find a way to provoke them and get their facade to crack.
But that sounds dangerous.
If the culprit is deep in disguise, a slight provocation won't completely expose them. What we need is to create reasonable doubt. Make the culprit question whether their cover is blown. As they hesitate over whether to make some kind of last stand, that is our chance.
So, how do you plan to provoke them?
Oh, A didn't tell you? Allow me to show you. Ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of the Mikawa Flower Festival, it is my honor to announce an esteemed guest from Tenshukaku has agreed to take part in this year's festival. Please welcome Her Excellency, the Almighty Narukami Ogosho, God of Thunder.
So this was your plan, Miko?
Well, not bad, right?
Wow, that was quite the entrance. Hyman can't believe she agreed to that.
That's what Miko wants us to take advantage of.
Why didn't you clue us in earlier? We wasted all that time asking pointless questions.
I'll do my best. So cute.
Another day of hard work. Where?
Almighty Shogun! Glory to your everlasting reign! Welcome. Welcome.
This stall looks familiar. Yet it would seem the ownership has changed hands.
Ah, you must be thinking of Tomoki. He wasn't feeling well today, so I'm filling in.
I see. Yet, you remind me of someone. A Doshin from the Tenryo Commission.
Oh?
What are you looking at, eh?
The food offerings. Although this vendor seems...
He's working.
Working? Ah, I see. I appreciate your dedication, sir.
Well, of course. It's an honor to serve such esteemed guests.
No need for formalities. I'll take 3 orders of dongo milk.
Right away.
3 orders? So Paimon gets one too?
All 3 of them for A, actually.
Yes. I wanted to thank you for accompanying me. Without you by my side, I imagine the people here would be on edge even now. I have my reasons for being here, of course, but I would hate to tarnish the festive atmosphere.
This festival is for everyone, including you.
Indeed. The Mikawa Flower Festival. Hundreds of years have passed since I last partook of the festivities. Much is different this time. The people, the place, the games. Yet, the name endures, and the joy of celebration along with it. I suppose that, in itself, is a form of eternity.
Traveler, Paimon. And the almighty Shogun?
Oh, Mizuki! Looks like you got some much-needed rest.
Yume Mizuki. Thank you for your aid earlier.
Of course. I'm always willing to help. It's my duty. I wish I could have dispelled the nightmares, but this situation is uncharted territory for me.
Even so, relieving the pain of the nightmares is no small feat. You honor the legacy of the Yumeku Ippaku.
So not even Mizuki could fix it? What's going on with this nightmare creature?
Let's save the difficult questions for later. Actually, I came here to ask you something. Want to come to the Isa bathhouse with me? Most of the contestants will be there. Oh, and don't worry about payment. It's my treat.
Really? Yes, let's go!
You want us to go to the hot springs now?
Well, game development isn't easy. Most of the contestants are exhausted and could use a break. You've been under a lot of pressure yourselves with the investigation and all, so I thought you might like to join.
Of course we would! Right, Traveler?
I will remain here. I rarely have time away from Tenshukaku, and I would like to continue perusing the stalls.
Aw, that's too bad.
Then... Oh man, this feels like a difficult choice. Okay, I'll go.
Ah, I almost forgot. Miko wanted to talk to you, Traveler. I'll take you to her first.
Oh? Well, why don't we all go?
Almighty Shogun, your dongo milk is ready.
Oh, delicious.
No need, Shogun. Miko just had some quick things to go over with the judges, that's all. You and Paimon can wait here. We'll only be a minute.
Be right back.
Alright, now we can talk freely.
Miko doesn't need to see me, does she?
I think something's off with the Shogun. You've been with her the whole day. Have you noticed anything?
I thought that she was just weird. So something off? No?
Up close, sometimes it's hard to see the whole picture. I think something is troubling her.
Something did seem off with A today. Maybe she's not used to leaving Tenshukaku? Or was it the reaction of the crowd? No, we've been through so much. Something so trivial wouldn't shake her. She must be keeping something to herself.
I've witnessed a lot of cases where patients, for a variety of reasons, are unwilling or unable to seek help. Unfortunately, that only exacerbates the problem. Until their emotions become so heavy, even the strongest of people collapse under the weight. I see those warning signs in the Shogun.
So even Archons aren't immune to emotional strain?
Humans, yokai, and archons bear the same capacity for emotion, and are naturally susceptible to the same mental turmoil.
Carver, why do you have to jump onto the desk?
It's very possible that someone who appears strong on the outside has learned to compartmentalize their negative emotions, and that is far from healthy.
I understand.
Anyway, the quickest route to curing the mind is through the heart. That's where you come in, Traveler.
As a clinical psychologist, isn't that where you come in?
Approaching someone in a professional capacity often makes them more guarded. But don't worry, you'll still have my help. Here, with these 2 special coupons, you can get into Isa Bathhouse after closing. Then, this is what you're gonna do.
Finally, you're back! Paimon's had 2 servings of dango milk already!
Sorry for the wait. It sounds like the Traveler has other plans, Paimon. So we'll head to the bathhouse on our own.
Huh? You're not coming?
I'll explain later. Just have fun.
Okay. Paimon will bring you back a hot spring egg!
There is no need to stay behind on my behalf. If you leave now, I'm sure you can catch up.
Something tells me you chose to stay behind on our behalf.
What makes you say that?
You want everyone to relax. You don't want to be on edge. You don't want people to be on edge because of you.
If my presence makes them nervous or impedes their ability to relax, does that not defeat the purpose of going to the hot springs? I already disturbed their progress by coming to the festival. The last thing everyone needs is more distractions.
But aren't you under pressure too?
As you know, this body is hardly that fragile. It can operate for another 100 years with no issue.
You didn't deny it.
Mortals are weak in body and mind. If there is a choice of who to bear such a burden, naturally that person should be me.
What if you didn't have to worry about bothering anyone? Would you agree to go to the hot springs then?
What does it matter? The world is not so easily bent to one's will.
I'll take that as a yes. I have a pair of special coupons here. We can get into the bathroom after closing. Bathhouse, not bathroom. We can get into the bathhouse after closing. Gosh, Ren!
What clever verbal tricks, Traveler. It appears you've been spending too much time with Miko.
It's an honest offer.
You think you can get away with manipulating the Shogun? I wouldn't be so sure.
You'll go, won't you?
Persistent indeed. Very well. As you proposed, we shall set out at midnight. As I said, let's wait until midnight. You can attend to other matters in the meantime.
Dango milk? I mean, I guess the Nui is a little bit suspicious. You didn't either? But your team is the biggest. Well, don't work too hard. Okay.
Well, shall we head out?
Let's go.
All right. No reason to delay. steam replete with the scent of orchids. Water that turns the complexion a blushing pink. So, this is a hot spring.
Is this your first time here?
Yes, there are royal hot springs near Tenshukaku. But the plans were set in motion only after Hiragi Hiroshi introduced the Snezhnayan blast furnace to Inazuma, and that was 500 years ago. When the project was complete, I was already in the plain of Euthymia. And, naturally, the body of the shogun has no need for such luxuries.
Hiragi Hiroshi.
The members of the Kanjo Commission were once friends with Makoto and the Kitsune Saigu. Although mere mortals, those who managed to survive back then were special individuals indeed.
What happened back then?
What makes you say that?
The look on your face.
Now I see why my officials claim that the hot springs facilitate conversation. Even I find myself divulging more than intended. You're correct. Following the dark disaster 500 years ago, a nightmare engulfed Inazuma. On a battlefield consumed in darkness, our soldiers fought against dark forces, creatures capable of possessing people and trapping them in nightmares. Even the Yumeku Ibaku could do nothing to wake them.
As awful as that sounds, it doesn't seem bad enough to make you this upset.
Perhaps not. The battle was intense. Those who stood up in defense of this land knew the chance of survival was slim. In the face of certain death, surely a nightmare is nothing to fear. But what if I told you this? If the person trapped in the nightmare was strong enough to overcome incapacitation, it would become a waking nightmare instead. The person would lose all capacity to distinguish dream from reality, perceiving everything in the real world as a continuation of the war, and every precious thing in life as an enemy to be annihilated. And every precious thing in life as an enemy to be annihilated. That is a far more painful nightmare, both for the person in question and those around them.
If I hadn't broken out of the nightmare... If I hadn't broken out of the nightmare yesterday, would that have happened to me? Then A must be so worried because... Then... A must be so worried because... It must have happened to someone back then.
Yes.
What happened?
I unleashed Muso no Hitotachi and struck her down.
I'm sorry.
No need. I have no regrets. I know it was the right decision, both for Inazuma's sake and her own. If necessary, I would do it again.
A?
Well, it's about time you two showed yourselves, yes? You've listened in long enough.
Oh.
Oh, it's you two.
Before you say anything, this part wasn't me.
Well, since the cat's out of the bag, how about a hot spring tea party?
Hey!
Ah, nice and warm. No wonder the hot springs relaxed your inhibitions, eh?
So who came up with this idea? I want the truth.
I guess... both of us?
Well, I happened to consult a certain clinical psychologist about how to get an old friend to open up. In her expert opinion, doing something new with a trusted companion in a new environment can make someone less guarded. Looks like it worked like a charm.
I understand the reasoning, but why not do it yourself?
It's one thing to trust that Miko has good intentions, but would you let your guard down around her?
Good point.
Your concern is misplaced. I kept these matters to myself because I was unsure whether this incident is connected to the past, and I did not want to interfere with the investigation. If the investigation reached an impasse, or new clues pointed to the nightmare from back then, naturally, I would have discussed this intel with you.
Intel, huh? It appears you still don't understand why I wanted you to open up in the first place.
Hmm?
What was that?
Sounds like it came from outside. Let's check it out.
Man, we were having a hot spring tea party. That's too bad.
Oh no! Someone's unconscious!
Is it the nightmare?
It seems different in some respects. Step back and allow me to examine her.
She's awake.
What's going on? Almighty Shogun?
What happened just now? What frightened you?
Shogun,
It's all right. With the Shogun here, nothing can hurt you. Just take a deep breath and tell us what happened.
I almost fainted again just now.
Is that what happened earlier? You fainted?
Yes. I was on my way to your restaurant. And as I was crossing the bridge, I saw someone staring at me from behind a tree.
That's spooky. Oh, it's you! It's you!
It was hard to make out their appearance in the dark, but I had a bad feeling. So I tried to get a closer look in the moonlight. And it was me! In that moment, I thought about how people who see their doppelganger usually end up dead, and I fainted from the shock. I don't remember anything after that.
A doppelganger in Inazuma City. But we only detected traces of the nightmare around Mount Yogo.
I heard that people encountered doppelgangers at Mount Yogo too! Could it be the work of some terrible yokai?
Don't worry about that. The strongest yokai in Inazuma are all right here.
Now that we have an understanding of the situation, why don't I take you to the police station to file a report?
Okay.
It's okay, Rie.
The situation is getting worse. If the doppelganger is limited to the festival grounds, that's one thing. But appearing on a random street in Inazuma City...
On the bright side, the victim seems okay this time.
Bad news, Shogun!
A Tenryo Commission official? What's wrong?
Another victim! At the festival! Kappa is trapped in a nightmare!
What?
But Sara and the others were keeping watch.
Make haste. Back to Mount Yogo at once.
Kappa! Kappa!
Excuse me. Let me take a look.
Mizuki! Traveler! Finally, you're back!
Now is not the time to cast blame. Did anyone witness the attack?
We split up for just a second, and the next thing we knew, he was on the ground.
Oh, it must be some terrible yokai.
The doppelganger in Inazuma City also seemed to appear without warning. Yeah, seems like it.
How is he, Mizuki?
It's strange. I can't perceive his nightmare. It's almost like he's not there at all.
The yokai! It must be getting stronger!
Kappa, oh, please don't die.
No. It was I who underestimated the enemy. I who allowed us to continue the festival despite the potential dangers. Sara, what is the status of the other contestants and staff? Good. By decree of the Shogun, I declare that the Mikawa Flower Festival is...
Wait,
What is it, Miko?
you're being too hasty, eh? I understand your concern for the people, but I urge you to think this through, or we risk playing into the enemy's hand. Considering your history with nightmares, you have better cause than anyone to exercise caution. But do you truly believe that what we're facing now is just a nightmare?
Explain.
Call it intuition. If you want the truth, perhaps Doshin Shikanoen could shed some light. I believe there's been a break in the case.
It's a different person? So it's a different person.
Kappa is made of wood?
No wonder I couldn't sense the nightmare.
I see. So the doppelganger infiltrated the festival as Kappa and is currently hiding in Inazuma City. Is that correct?
Kozo and his two friends were together the whole time, too. They would have noticed if someone was acting weird. It's a Bakedaniki tail!
Kikaku! Kikaku! Run!
Tetsunosuke?
They're getting away!
Aren't you supposed to be in Inazuma City?
And leave you two by yourselves? That's not the Tanuki way!
No fighting! Let's go!
Bakedaniki! Those little terrors! Come on, let's go after them! Paimon's had enough of these things! What even are they? More Bakedaniki tricks?
So it's all that guy. I bet he was just bitter that he couldn't be at the thing.
Nothing's working! The humans are catching up!
Little rascals! Stop running!
You wish!
Transform! Stupid! Stupid humans won't be able to recognize us!
I will hit every single one of them.
You can't see me. You can't see me. I'm up on fire.
Tetsunosuke, you idiot! Don't tell them the three of us turned into bonfires!
Hear that, Traveler? Bonfires! 3 of them! We'll show them.
Ouch! Transform!
They're gone again! Oh, what are they this time? Some kind of stone or brick?
Oh! Kichiro, protect us!
Save us, Tsukumo!
Wow.
We're almost rid of them.
Sarah, you're so cool.
Tengu! Tengu was flying! Tengu is a cheater!
Tengu, why are you helping the humans? Tengu is a yokai!
Shogun? That's the leader of the humans!
Shogun sent people to steal our land! Shogun is bad!
Calm yourself, Sarah. Let's hear them out.
Shogun sent humans to steal our home!
And the Mikawa Flower Festival! Shogun is making yokai serve the humans!
Serve the humans? He's not talking about the game development, is he?
Shogun even forced Great Baku Yokai to work all night!
Oh, you mean yesterday? That was my choice, actually.
Jeez, where are these ideas coming from?
I think there are some misunderstandings. Kichiboshi and the others weren't forced into anything.
Stay back! Humans want to enslave us again!
Hold on. Something's not right. We should try a different approach.
No need. I know what's wrong. They're trapped in a nightmare.
What are you doing? Trying to put Tetsunosuke to work?
Kinkaku doesn't want to stay up all night.
Servitude, enslavement? These might sound like ridiculous misunderstandings to us, but that is their reality right now. A world of despair and fear, where enemies lurk at every turn, devoid of even a single shred of light.
So, they're sleepwalking? How do we wake them up?
If we knew how, we would have done so back then.
Give us your worst! Kinkaku will never leave the Tanuki path! Kinkaku will die before serving you!
I may have a solution.
Truly?
If the nightmares come from the abyss, there's something I can try.
What are you doing? No, don't!
The humans are everywhere. We can't hide forever.
How long have we been hiding? 100 years? 500 years?
No idea. If Yoroi was still around, he would remember.
Shh, quiet! Someone's coming.
This is a fine piece of land. The grain yield should be exceptional.
Remember to check for traces of yokai in the surrounding area. By order of the Shogun.
By order of the Shogun, we are to exterminate all yokai that cross our path.
Why so hasty? We should leave some alive. We can make them work their own land.
Hey, you know about the Mikawa Flower Festival, right? I heard 50% of the profit is going to the development fund.
Oh yeah, the festival for humans. And
The festival for humans, and humans alone. The yokai have had their fun. It's our turn now.
Oh.
That's right. We should put them to work. They're known for their transformations, right? Then the little monkeys can dance for us until they die!
No! How could they do that?
Quiet, or they'll catch us.
What? What is that? Ah!
Hey, are you alright? Yoko, Kappa, I need help over here! Hold on, we're coming!
The yokai and the humans are unconscious?
The same thing happened to all of them?
The Mikawa Flower Festival!
This yokai can speak!
No, if we don't make it to the Mikawa Flower Festival, Boss Tama will be so upset. Boss Tama will eat us.
The humans are coming for us. We're gonna lose our home. What do we do?
We infiltrate the Mikawa Flower Festival. We scare the humans away and then they won't come.
But how do we get into the festival?
Boss Toma is the best!
How about we turn into those 3 yokai?
These memories, they belong to the Bakedanuki?
Traveler! Traveler!
Are you all right, Traveler?
I'm fine.
Where are we?
Huh? The nightmare is gone. You purified it.
Just my way of dealing with the abyss.
Humans! And a bunch of yokai! The Mikawa Flower Festival! The humans are gonna... They're gonna... What were they gonna do?
That might have something to do with a long time in hiding.
Oh, that explains all the Boss Toma this and Boss Toma that. That was the only thing they could imitate. Wait a second. Hitotsume Kozo and the others should be Akitsuyuge experts. But this time, Toma did all the work. Paimon can't believe we missed something so suspicious.
You're like Heizo if his skills only worked in hindsight.
Oh, you're saying Paimon's deductive reasoning is Hazel level.
Based on your description, Traveler, it's possible these Bakedanuki have been in hiding for 500 years. Sounds like they know Ioroi, too. Why don't we ask him? It's not far.
The protector of the grove. It's been 500 years since our last meeting. Sarah, Heizo, return to the festival to keep watch. The doppelganger incident has been resolved, but the threat of the nightmare remains. I will handle the meeting with Ioroi myself.
Ioroi, we're back!
Oh, keep it down. Bringing all these people at this hour. Don't you know even statues need to sleep? Shogun! I bow before thee. No, wait, shoot, I'm still a statue. What should I...
All is well, Ioroi, hidden protector of the grove.
I've never seen Yorai so afraid.
Ah, that would be because when Ioroi tried to pluck a nakuweed from the Imperial Garden, A nearly split him in two, Yashiori Island style.
Keep it to yourself, you meddlesome kitsune.
Ioroi, I wish to ask you something.
Anything, Shogun. Absolutely anything. It is my honor to answer.
Suck up.
You could have at least slowed down a little. It took forever to convince them to come with me.
Oh, it's Yoroi! The humans really did kill you!
Your body is stone!
Huh? I am not dead!
Not dead? The Kitsune spoke the truth?
This smell is Yoroi! Yoroi is alive! Yoroi? The humans really did seal you away!
Wait, this must be Kinkaku, Ginkaku, and Tetsunosuke! You weren't sealed away?
When the humans, Kabuda Harunosuke, came to hurt us!
We ran and hid. The humans searched and searched. So many friends couldn't move. Our yokai powers were getting weaker.
So we decided to escape the human just as the great Baketanuki Tsukumo taught us, by digging a hole in the ground! That's when we uncovered a horn filled with yokai power! It was the will of the great Baketanuki Kiichiro made manifest! It restored our power! And then we made the human go, oh, ching-chung! Yeah, yeah!
Oh! And by ting tune! Yeah! You mean?
We tricked him and ran.
So, you didn't actually beat him up at all?
We've been using the horn to hide ever since. But there are too many humans. It's getting harder to hide.
A horn full of yokai power. Could that be the source of the nightmares? The reason the Baketanuki are so afraid of humans? If the horn contained the fragment of a nightmare, using its power to hide would spread the nightmare to them. That means the Baketanuki have been trapped inside this state of anxiety for 500 years.
Yo, I get like that sometimes too.
Ha! I could have told you that nothing good would come from that horn. Using external power is against the Tanuki path.
We strayed from the path?
But the horn helped us hide from the humans. The humans tried to take our land.
On the contrary, the purpose of the investigation was to determine in advance if yokai were present on the land in question. Whether we avoid encroaching on yokai territory altogether, or attempt to reach a mutually beneficial agreement, a peaceful resolution was always the goal.
Oh, really?
Wait, that is what the humans said back then, isn't it?
By order of the Shogun, if yokai live here, we need to discuss the proposal.
Kinkaku, Ginkaku, Tetsunosuke. Not all humans are bad. Yellowfur over there helped me a great deal, you know.
Besides, the Baketanuki were only sealed away back then because Yoroi stole that comb.
Yoroi? It's a thief? Yoroi got what he deserved.
How was I to know it was used to make sacred Sakura Daifuku? I gave it back, didn't I?
So the humans were mean for no reason?
Well, if you must know, the young human and I fought. I was perhaps a tad careless, so I conceded the match. Anyway, the point is, neither side is bad.
There he goes again, changing the subject when it makes him look bad.
Now you know. No human is trying to harm you.
So, it was all a nightmare.
500 years in hiding? For nothing.
It was a 500-year-long game of hide and seek. What's so bad about that? Besides, you won.
Huh? We won? Go us! We're even better than Yoroi!
Hey, my game of hide and seek isn't over yet.
Wow, the mind of a Baketanuki is something else. Still so cheerful even after all that.
That nature is what isolated them from the worst effects of the nightmare. and prevented them from causing any real harm. But a nightmare that's still affecting people after all this time? Who could it belong to? A horn buried under Mount Yogo.
I feel like I've heard a legend about that.
Tainted by darkness, the Oni warrior raised her sword against the almighty shogun. Losing an arm and a horn to the shogun's blade, she fled into the forest, never to be seen again. A trusted lieutenant fighting against the forces of darkness, she was once devoured whole by a beast from beyond this world, with the body of a tiger and the tail of a serpent, until she tore the creature apart from within. Thus she earned the name Chiyo the Tigerbite, or Tora Chiyo.
I don't think Chiyo would like that name. Though she escaped the belly of the beast alive, that battle never left her. She saw the memories of her fallen comrades everywhere, slaughtered one after another, until she could no longer distinguish dream from reality.
A nightmare doesn't incapacitate someone with sufficient strength. It turns into something even worse.
The nightmare twisted every joy in her life, her subordinates, family, and friends, into enemies in need of destruction. It was in that state, trapped in the battlefield of her mind, that she raised her sword against me on Mount Yogo. With the Muso no Hitotachi, I cut off her arm, one of her horns, and a portion of the mountain itself. I suspect that is when the horn in question was buried there.
And subsequently uncovered by 3 Bakedanuki. That means the fragment on the horn comes from Chiyo's nightmare.
Nightmares feed on fear and anxiety. If what the traveler saw is true, it's possible Kinkaku and the others' fear over the past 500 years allowed the fragment to gain physical form and become something akin to a Jibakure.
Jibakure?
An earthbound spirit. They move through the ley lines, but are also bound by them. That's why the traces of this entity appeared intermittently and never outside of Mount Yogo.
It would seem the fragment of this nightmare is no different from the one back then. It hates all joy and every good thing in this world. The investigation team working for a better future? Attacked. Hitotsume Kozo and his friends, kind enough to lend a helping hand? Attacked.
Yeah, and we were attacked too! Right when we were having fun with the playtesting.
So why hasn't it appeared since?
Perhaps it needs to regain strength after your defeat. Or perhaps it is biding its time because it knows, with whatever rationality remains, that it cannot defeat you. But sooner or later, its twisted hatred will force it out of hiding, and it will move to strike its enemies. When Chiyo set her sights on a target, she was never one to waver.
Oh.
But both possibilities prove something. Nightmare fragments can be defeated, and an enemy that can be killed is one that can be split in two by the power of Muso Ishin.
There's really no other way?
Mikoshi Chiyo is gone. A fragment of a nightmare tied to a severed horn. That is all that remains. The living must take precedent over the memory of the dead.
Even so, having to unleash Muso Ishin against her again? Would A really be okay? Mizuki said Archons suffer from the same turmoil as the rest of us. The dead may be gone, but that doesn't mean our emotions die with them.
Oh, who cares about the dead anyway? I'm just trying to look out for the living.
What is that supposed to mean, Miko?
Oh, I'm just concerned about our poor Bakedanuki friends.
Huh? What does that have to do with us?
The nightmare fragment has been tied to the Bakedanuki for nearly 500 years. Strike it down, and who's to say whether you take the lives of our poor friends along with it?
I beseech you, almighty Shogun, spare the young ones. It was just a momentary... a 500-year-long lapse in judgment.
Miko, you speak the truth?
You are so easily tricked, A. I think that they'll be fine.
If you don't believe me, ask Mizuki and the Traveler. I'm sure they've encountered similar cases during their extensive travels.
Well, Oh! Yes. During my studies both in Liyue and Natlan.
Yeah, I've definitely seen that happen before. I can't believe we're all manipulating her like this.
Then, what would you propose? This nightmare fragment is a constant threat to Inazuma. Should all other options fail, I will take action.
Valid and fair.
If the fragment's hatred toward the world comes from a nightmare, then the most logical option is to get rid of the nightmare itself.
Right! Can't you just eat the nightmare, Mizuki?
The Yumekui Baku already tried that 500 years ago. Even yesterday, when faced with the corruption of the nightmare, Mizuki could only mitigate the effects.
What was impossible back then is not necessarily impossible now. I think Mizuki has the right idea. If we cannot eradicate the nightmares directly, why not use this entity's tricks against it? Combat illusions with illusions. Combat nightmares with dreams.
Is that even possible?
Why not?
Don't forget, there are yokai that specialize in shape-shifting and illusions, and they happen to be right in front of us.
Where? Kinkaku doesn't see them anywhere!
So Ito-coded.
Maybe they're hiding us trees? Or the wind?
Fools! The Kitsune is clearly referring to the Bakedanuki. Tetsunosuke, Kinkaku, must you be so dense?
Given their centuries-long connection to the nightmare fragment, they are perfectly positioned to create a dreamscape that the entity will be unable to distinguish from the real world.
Back then, the nightmare had little to no weaknesses. If we want to give the Bakedanuki an opportunity to strike, I assume you have a plan, Miko?
You said it yourself. Mikoshi Chiyo is gone. All that remains is a fragment of her nightmare, already broken and vulnerable. Besides, Mizuki is an old friend, one that is not to be underestimated. She has traveled the land studying dreams and is far more capable than those old fossils back then.
Oh,
Not gonna say anything?
She just usually doesn't compliment me to my face. But Miko's right. If we work together, I'm confident we can put together a ritual to subdue the nightmare fragment.
Once we perform the ritual, it will take some time for the barrier to take effect. Luckily for us, we have two formidable warriors on our side. Our festival representative, who also happens to have extensive experience against dark forces, and the almighty Shogun, unmatched in combat. I'm sure the two of you can buy us some time.
There's just one problem. Since this entity can pass through the ley lines, its movements are unpredictable. If we're going to create a barrier, how can we be sure it appears where we want?
The solution to that is obvious. If the nightmare fragment despises all sources of joy and happiness, then naturally a joyous occasion would be an evil beyond measure. An enemy that must be annihilated at all costs.
So, if we want to lure it out...
We need a source of joy.
The Mikawa Flower Festival!
What joy could possibly compare to finishing one's work right before the deadline?
I would imagine we can all think of a few. But I agree. The Mikawa Flower Festival is the most plausible target. Once the enemy appears, I will pull them into the plane of Euthymia immediately. I will not put the people in danger. Traveler, I ask that you join me there so we can subdue the enemy together.
Of course.
All right. I will update everyone back at the festival and start the preparations for the ritual. I'll need your help, Mizuki. It's going to be a busy night.
Looks like an all-nighter for me.
Well, this was your idea. Oh, and don't forget, you need to finish a Little Fox's Daydream as well.
And in a surprising twist, you were my nightmare all along.
Cute.
Well, Eoroi, as I see it, you've been punished long enough. It's about time you were released.
Released? I can do that myself anytime I want. This statue keeps me warm in the winter and cool in the summer. Don't interfere.
Yoroi is the best!
Besides, the seal's power is almost gone. What I really want is for you to help me give that sneaky kitsune a piece of my mind.
Eoroi, she's already...
Not so fast. I won't be fooled by your tricks again. Whatever you were about to say, she can tell me herself, instead of sending some young kitsune to hoodwink me.
Poor Yorai. Poor Yai.
Great yokai really wasn't forced to work all night?
That's right. It was my choice.
Why does great yokai have to work?
I suppose it's just the price of becoming a great yokai.
Great yokai? Kingaku is sad for you.
That's funny.
Traveler, during the battle tomorrow, it is imperative you know your limits. If the enemy proves too much to handle, leave them to me.
But...
I know. I understand your concerns, just as you know mine. We need not say any more than that. Just get some rest and prepare yourself for the battle to come.
Okay. Get some rest, A.
One more thing. Thank you.
That was the end of part 2. Hope everybody enjoyed that. And like always, don't forget to like and subscribe. Stay happy, stay healthy, stay hydrated, and I will see you again next time. Bye now.